Hey guys, today we will be looking at episode 6 of a scenario where civilization starts over. As we can see, we are already pretty far into this series, and I already have planned a season 2. I've made a map and everything, so once this is done, I'm going to be starting season 2. But let's jump straight into the scenario. So, remember this orange team? Well, this orange team is actually going to start expanding. So it's pretty small. It doesn't have much population. It's just going to expand. Not much is really going on here. This country will begin to expand up into this area and mainly going along the coast, but still mainly going, I don't know. It's gonna expand quite a bit. And it's also going to be doing a lot of exploring, and it will send expeditions out to do major exploring of the region. And it will explore large pieces of land, going far up the coast, quite far actually, and ending up starting going down. And because they're heading downwards now, south, they decide to stop for a bit and explore more in this area. With the Reds' permission, they can start sending people. With Reds' permission, they can start sending people through Reds' territory up into this area to start exploring. And they start exploring over here pretty quickly, going all the way up the coast, almost meeting up with them, but they go back just before they meet up with them and do a bit more exploring over here. And now we already have a bit more of the land explored. Well, this island was, I'm pretty sure, just discovered in the last episode. People will start discovering it, and people will decide to make their own new country down here. This weird dark cyan color. Yeah. And it will sort of form all along here on this island, and they will be doing quite a lot of exploring. Now their people are more advanced, so they can explore quite a lot faster, mainly around the coast, and they will explore a large part of this land up here. And eventually all of civilization will decide, well, not all of civilization, the red and the magenta team will decide to finally explore all this island, and after around a year of exploring, or 2 years actually of exploring, they finally explore the whole island. Now, our world looks something like this, which is sort of weird, but trade routes now go through the purple team much better, and trade from purple to red team, now making it so there's one long area of the water. Lots of trade is sent back and forth from the magenta team. And now we will see a little war take place. Cyan team and this team will again be at war over constant conflicts. And I'll actually show this battle in a darker color, actually. Normally I'd put it in a lighter color, but this is a different kind of battle, I guess. And Cyan will actually take the advantage here and actually connect up their little city, which they bought maybe last episode, I think. And now they'll start taking over lots of land here and manage to push quite a lot into the gray team. And the gray team wasn't really expecting this, so the gray team can't really do much about it. But eventually they get all their troops in and start actually defending against this attack. But pretty badly, as they're still getting pushed back quite a lot. Eventually, the gray team surrenders and a peace deal is made. And the peace deal looks something like this, where the gray team gets to keep all this land, while the cyan team gets all this land, finally making the cyan team quite strong, actually, at this point. And cyan team will go and actually send a huge voyage to attack the orange team. This voyage will take a sort of straight line, and they will reach the orange team, and lots of troops will be sent to invade into them. And a little landing will be made. And they will land right about here, and pretty quickly start invading into the orange team, as they're a weak team. And pretty quickly, because the orange team, they expanded a little too fast. They just don't have enough population for how fast they expanded. They will really quickly lose land. Eventually, the orange team, well, basically, they have like little to no population. I'd say maybe 1,000 population in this large area up here. And they'll eventually just surrender all their people to the cyan team. And the cyan team, and there is no peace deal because the cyan team just completely wipes them out. And the cyan team, in this deal, will gain all this land, and by themselves, they will be doing a bit of expanding up until around here. And they will gain all of this land, all to themselves. And, yeah. And this is where sort of some big alliances will be formed. We already know this big alliance between red, green, and magenta, and blue, but a new alliance will be made. And that is between cyan team and, pretty surprisingly, this gray team, because in this battle with cyan and the gray team, the king died. And now they have a new king who's actually in favor of the cyan team. So now the cyan team and these guys will make an alliance. And joining that alliance will also be the blue team, as the red sort of became communist, and they don't really like that. Sort of, they became communist. And now they're going to be joining this new alliance to attack against red. Now, I won't say this is a world war, but World War I might begin. It also includes this team joining this blue alliance, not like in communism. But they will mainly stay neutral. They just said they joined that alliance for no real reason. But they're mainly neutral, at least in this first part of the battle. And they will mainly just be exploring. But every single country, there's only really 6 countries, but every single country will be going to war. Is that 7? 7. Every single country will be going to war in this giant world war, even though there's not much. And eventually this whole island will be discovered, but that's not too important, except for the fact that this weird colored team will be taking over the whole island. Now it's sort of massive, but it's not very strong. Just because it's big doesn't mean it's strong, you know? And this war will begin over here with tensions between this sort of... this sort of cyan team into the green team, and a little invasion will be made into the green team, but it's not that big, because they're both superpowers at this point, the cyan team and the green team. Well, they're not both superpowers. I'd say the green team and the magenta team are the only superpowers. But green team will be invaded by the cyan team, which will lead the red team to the core and warn them. The red team underestimated the power of the cyan team, and with these gray team troops, red will start getting pushed back. With red being pushed back, they will get pushed back quite a lot, actually. And cyan will take away quite a lot of their sea border and make a huge encirclement, circling probably around 10,000 troops. At this time, I would say, I'm going to make a power ranking. The cyan team probably has a total of they have a total of 60,000 troops. This gray team probably has a total around 30,000 troops. The red team has probably a total of around 200,000 troops at this point. The blue team probably has a total of around 10,000 troops. And this team probably only has around 10,000 troops also. The green team probably has around 40,000 troops, 50,000 troops, just like the cyan team, I'd say. And the purple team probably has around 60 to 70,000 troops. So the red team is the strongest with around 100,000 troops. But they just got around 30,000 troops encircled. That is a lot. They had a lot of people up here. So that almost a third of their army has just been encircled. And this red and the green team will be losing land to the cyan team's strength. And the encirclement, and eventually all the encirclements of people will surrender. And that lowers the amount of this side troops quite a lot. Invasions into the red team continue by the cyan team, but they slightly get pushed back, and it's harder for them to invade into the red team. And their invasions will continue, and finally, the first year is really just these two. It's probably around 1, 2, 3, 4 countries fighting in it. Those 4. And this is probably the first year at this point. But also, in that year, some invasions were made into the red team up here. Say cyan has around 5,000 troops in here. Red team also has around 5,000 troops, but for some reason, a lot of their troops are up here. For some reason. And the cyan team will start invading into the red team quite a lot. It seems like the red team would lose, but finally the magenta team joins this war. But also the blue team joins this war. And this weird color team. This red team joins the red team side, but it is pretty fastly by the blue team invaded, and it's not very strong, so yeah, bye-bye. But well, that was super easy. What's not easy is now with all these magenta troops trying to invade cyan, holding off against the red and green team. Mainly the red team. The red team will, now with all these magenta troops, magenta, I underestimated them. I'd say they have 80,000, 90,000 troops. And with all these troops coming in, cyan team stands no chance. But they actually do stand a chance because their allies are coming to help. These dudes will start invading into the red team, making a small landing down here, and pretty quickly taking over lots of red land, as red did not expect this at all. And eventually they'll even lose the whole island because red maybe had 1,000 troops on this island, maybe. But invasion into here isn't so easy as Red starts to push them back. But now, Red has to send troops down here, and they have to worry about here, and now, down here. As the blue team, is now taking over this colony, and this colony. And now, we just made a landing on this colony. Now, I'd say we're 2 years into this war. At this point, and now serious things will start happening. The red team, even though they have to defend themselves against this team, they will still be invading into the Cyan team. And pretty quickly too, with all of these Magenta troops. They promised Magenta large piece of Cyan's land if they help them, and they are helping them, so they will probably get a large piece of Cyan's land if they win, which they probably will, as Red is absolutely dominating them. Now, I know this is... What? Huh? What? Oh. Whoopsies. The orange team. What? The orange team will be, invading. The red team, will be invading into the Cyan team until finally, the Cyan team will surrender. Now, this is a big loss for the, this alliance, the cyan, blue, weird colored alliance, because that was probably their strongest team. And now, it seems like they have no chance. So, they will go ahead and surrender. Now, the surrender may not seem too smart, but everyone makes a deal. And this deal looks something. And this is what the tree looks like. It looks pretty terrible, but as you can see, the Cyan team will no longer exist. And they will make a new country of these two old red colonies, which will be shown in Cyan. And this country will gain this island, and the red team will gain this Cyan colony. Some purple and green land are given, and this country is replaced with a new government that is a good government that is, well, not good, I wouldn't say communist, because the red is communist. So, yeah. And after this great war, people won't be doing much. There'll just be a bit of exploration, and yeah. Mainly exploration around the coast until finally this island is fully discovered, and, well, the size, like the edge of this island is fully discovered, and some more of this island, most of this island actually, is now discovered, and more of this island is now discovered. And finally, they connect up these 2 points on accident, and yeah. But because of the Great War, not much exploration will be done because they are struggling. But that will end it for today's episode. So, yeah. Bye.